One morning, a fisherman sat on the banks of a river near his village, eagerly waiting to catch a big fish to bring home to his wife and children, who were hungry and had nothing to eat. Hours passed without catching anything, and as the evening neared, a fish finally got hooked on his line. The fisherman was excited as he began to reel it in, but when he pulled it out of the water, he found that it was a small fish, barely enough for him alone. Nevertheless, he thanked God for this sustenance and was satisfied with what was given to him. Suddenly, the fisherman heard the fish speaking to him, asking him to return it to the river because it was small and wouldn't satisfy his hunger, suggesting that he wait to catch a bigger fish. But the fisherman replied confidently and faithfully, saying, "God has provided you for me, and I am content with what he has given me, whether much or little. Everything that comes from God is from his wisdom and decree." After talking to the small fish, the fisherman felt a moment of reflection, thinking about his words. Then he smiled kindly and returned the fish to the river, saying, "Go, perhaps you will grow and become sustenance for someone else someday." The fish dove into the water, feeling grateful to this kind fisherman. The fisherman then turned to head back home, and as he walked, contemplating the starlit sky, he felt a sense of peace and comfort in his heart. Although he didn't bring a big fish with him, he knew that God's blessings would compensate for it. When he arrived home, his wife and children greeted him with their usual smiles. He told them what had happened by the river and how he chose to return the small fish to the water. Not long after, their kind neighbor knocked on their door, carrying a plate of food. The neighbor said to the fisherman, "I received abundant sustenance today, and I wanted to share it with you." The fisherman felt immense happiness and realized that God never leaves his needy servant. Being content with God's decree always bears fruit. They all sat around the table, eating and thanking God for his blessings, knowing that goodness always comes to those who trust in God's wisdom and are satisfied with what he has given them. Since that day, the story of the fisherman and the small fish became a lesson passed down among the villagers, teaching everyone that contentment with little is the key to blessing and that God provides for whom he wills without measure. In the days following the incident, the fisherman's story spread among the villagers. People would stop to ask the fisherman about his feelings and what he learned from that experience. He would answer them with a calm smile. "I learned that sustenance is not just in what we receive, but in what we carry in our hearts of contentment and faith." As time passed, the fisherman's fortunes improved little by little. His catches became plentiful. Sometimes his net was filled in ways he did not expect. Whenever he returned to the river, he would recall his story with the small fish and thank God for the blessings he bestowed upon him. One day, while the fisherman was sitting by the riverbank, he saw a bright light emanating from the water. When he approached, he found a beautiful golden fish swimming near the surface. It approached him as if it knew him. Then it said to him, "I am the fish you returned to the river one day. You saved my life with your contentment and faith, and God has commanded me to return this favor to you." The fisherman was astonished and said, "What is this light you shine with? And how can I thank you?" The fish replied, "This light is the blessing of your contentment that has illuminated my life and yours."